35 through here. That's bullshit. In the middle of nowhere. What are you gonna hit? A squirrel? John Blaze. You know what I'm saying? And shit, you know what I'm saying? What road is this? Epps Bridge Parkway. Okay, I know where it's at. There's rock and shit, you know what I'm saying? There's rock and shit at the Epps Bridge Parkway. Yeah, there's rock and shit. Hotter the motherfucker out. 102 on my thing. Burning down the house. Yeah, let's rock. That Jim and Next, I'd give it a C+. Somewhere along the way, that brisket got cool. I did get the lean, but it still should have been better than that. It's overpriced, if you ask me. That place must be making a fortune. Blaze and shit. You know what I'm saying? John Blaze. John Blaze and shit. You know what I'm saying? Stay out and fuck around more, but actually I want to look at these clouds from my porch. Oh shit. This AC has a hard time keeping up today, this kind of temperature. 103. High dew point, high humidity too. It's John Blaze and shit, you know what I'm saying? That was written by Rupert Holmes, played by some band out of Ohio. It's about cannibalism. They wouldn't play it on the air at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Greens and blues. Just rocking on, you know what I'm saying? Epps Bridge Parkway, let's rock and shit. Let's rock, motherfuckers. Let's rock the jizzo and shit. Howard Johnson's. Remember, I used to get pistachio ice cream there as a kid. And what's crazy is it's still a damn Howard Johnson's. Isn't that wild? Is everything I like in Athens is on the west side, the furthest point from my house. But I do kind of like driving through campus, just kicking it with women, saying, "Hey, what's up, girls? Let's party." There's a sweetest girl that works that bagel shop. She's pregnant. She's having a baby in a couple months. And she's always nice to me, but I see her interact with other customers, and she's always so kind to them. One day I saw her buy a homeless guy a bagel, paid for it herself, and nobody was watching. It just happened to be being nosy. And today I gave her $100 for her baby shower present, and she got really emotional. Believe me, she deserved it. She's a good person. You can go out and buy some marijuana and beer after the baby. Athens. I know her husband's in some kind of band. Yeah, it's rock and shit, you know what I'm saying? John Blaze and shit. Man, I said this earlier, don't try and get a laptop. What the fuck is this motherfucker? Pull over, dumb fuck. Cops coming. Thank God he's not pulling me over. Donuts are ready. Fucker's hauling ass. You know, I was looking for him in my rearview mirror. Comes another one too, and didn't see him, and then looked forward, and there he was on my ass. Here comes another one. Now this road right here, this is. I'm gonna go down this way now. I wasn't going before. This heads down through campus. Would be the central section of campus. Comes another one. Right down here, whatever it is. going down this road too much. That'd be kicking it shit, you know what I'm saying? I'd just be rocking and shit. Domino's Pizza. You know, I used to run into that Tom Monahan once in a while. His daughters married a couple guys that were taking flying lessons while I had my airplane. I never talked to them. I talked to one of the daughters once, but there's a kind of a famous delicatessen in Ann Arbor, Zingerman's, and I ran into Tom Monahan a couple times in there buying stuff. I didn't talk to him. Looks like Albert E. Newman. He sold Domino's for $1 billion, which is like cheap compared to what it's worth now. Student housing and stuff in here, University of Georgia. Georgia Stadium right here. doesn't seem like anything new, but it's just crazy that I'm living in Georgia and actually kind of know where I'm going. In Athens, Georgia. Doesn't even seem real, to be honest with you. Myself a 4-pack of Dragon's Milk. It's going to be another good moon tonight. Only I think about maybe 89%, but still make me want to kick it. You know what I'm saying? These college liquor stores, though, down around these areas really aren't that great. You know, probably college budget stuff. Oak Street Pass. That's kind of a ghetto store. Cafe Racer. I don't know what that is. Coffee, maybe. Vaped. Yeah, vaping's not good for you. Inflov said his wife quit vaping. Oh, blood, good idea. That red and black, I was in there once and they were the shit. I think I'm kind of fucked for some Dragon's Milk at this stage. Willing to kick it, you know what I'm saying, shit. I'm willing to rock with it and shit, you know what I'm saying. I'm willing to whippy whiff it. Man, I'll tell you, these motherfuckers are never done working on this space down here. It's constantly under construction. And they just got done putting on this new ramp, which is great. Now they're fucking around with something else. I mean, it's never finished. I think that barbecue place I went to, Jim and Nick's, I think it's overpriced. Now, I went to that Mission Barbecue and when I was up in Columbia. Thought that was really good, and I thought it was a good price. Reasonable. I don't mind paying for quality stuff, but they stretched it in both ends. It was good, not great, and it's expensive. So, fuck that place. That's my criteria. You start stretching anything at both ends, and it's heading south. You gotta be with me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be kicking it and shit. Yeah, I fucked on a laptop. I was hoping I could pull a rabbit out. You know, there's not that many places to get a laptop, get a freestanding business anymore, a freestanding building. Best Buy, I mean, fuck. It's like better than nothing, barely. Walmart, it's like a fucking dinosaur. Smoke screens, smoke signals. Fucking Windows 98. What the fuck? So I just be kicking it with people. You know what I'm saying? Kicking it with them. Hey, you ever watch Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother? Man, that guy is funny as hell. He died of leukemia a while back. What's with you and shit, you know what I'm saying? To the right, it's all air money. Yeah, fuck that. You know, they built that big Gordie Howe Bridge. I think I'm going to go up there for the grand opening if I can. You know, make that happen at the same time worked on the Ambassador Bridge. And he started putting the wood to my mom, and here I am. Just kicking it with you. Shotgun hunting my sister. I had two stillborn, a brother and a sister. I'll bet you money that was because of drinking and shit. They were always fighting and getting back together. Same shit I did, man. It's fucking genetic. You go out, if you got a dad, you got a mom, barring a genetic miracle, there's a good chance. Now, it doesn't happen all the time. You're going to be doing the same fucked up shit they did that you never said you'd be doing. Fucking sucks. You know the old adage, the apples don't fall too far from the tree. Huh? Ain't no fucking shit. I mean, you look like them. You got a dick the same size as your dad. Eyes like your mom. It's like, fuck. Brain, same shit. White trash, making more white trash. I mean, what you gonna do? I hate this section right here. It sucks. I'm not gonna go with it. Go with it. I'm just gonna be kicking it with it, you know what I'm saying? Just kicking it with it. Still using 404, huh? That's Mexican music. I wonder if they got some mariachis. You know what I'm saying? La da 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 da. La da 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 da. You know, sneaking up on me. You know, these fucking cops now, you can't tell if it's fucking a ski bike rack or fucking flashers. Hell, I can tell you, I've been pulled over like 3 times in the last 6 months. I can tell you it's fucking not a bike rack. Bike rack doesn't light up blue. Once talking on my phone, actually twice talking on my phone, and once speeding. I got out of all 3. I said, you ever watch YouTube? It's like, yeah, who doesn't watch YouTube? It's like, well, I'm the chosen one. Get the fuck out of here. Don't ever pull me over again. Upload a video. I said, okay. They let me go. He said, hey, I gotta ask you something. Were you murdering those prostitutes? smartest fucking monkey in the world still had to wear a diaper when he was inside. Now that's not smart. Now, impressive, damn right. Anything that can play an accordion, peel a banana, and lick his own balls while he rides a unicycle is impressive. But smart, bullshit. Fucking 2-year-old can sit on a toilet. I mean, it's crazy. It's different. But I wouldn't call them smart. You can give them the biggest banana in the world time after time again. They're still going to crap wherever they feel like. That's not smart. I mean, even birds are smarter than that. Pigs. You can actually litter box train pigs. They're smarter than a dog. That's why I feel like it's bad when I see a whole truckload going. They're going to make bacon out of them and ham. Yeah, I guarantee you they know something's up. They know it's not. They're not going for a fucking salt bath. But it's going to be a salt bath, but it's after they're dead. Come on, you fucker! What are you turning left here for? Goddamn Mexican music player. Probably got a load of fucking cocaine in that thing. Ain't fooling me. Let that drug dog start humping that fucking rear tire. It's like, got any drugs in here? What? No speaky English. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. This dog has got a big heart on it. And I know you got dope in there. If you're hauling dope, whatever you do, don't drive. If you're Mexican, do not. It's hard not to go through Arizona. But try not to. Because your ass is getting fucking pulled over no matter what. It's called a whisper stop. You drove too slow, you drove too fast, you didn't signal in time. They got a million fucking reasons to pull you over. You looked like you were swerving, your tire hit the fucking yellow line. Then it's up to like 50,000 questions. Where are you going? Where you been? Unless you're by yourself, you better plead the fifth. They're going to get your buddy, and of course you guys aren't going to have the same story. They pull them over, they got a fucking U-Haul loaded with dope. It's like, where are you guys going? We're just going to see my aunt. Oh, where's she live? Phoenix. What's the address? I don't know, I just remember how to get there. Then they get the other one in the corner. Where are you going? Toledo, Ohio. It's like, okay. You got any aunts that live here? No. There's your buddy? No, all his aunts are in Mexico, where he picked up this dope. I'm telling you, you're going to see with Trump fucking with these people, there's going to be a lot less dope. The price is going to go up. They're fucking with these people hardcore. I always thought they could really stop that if they wanted to. I don't know why they got this 45 on this turn. Fuck, you need to be driving a Model A. Fuck. I said just hit the pedal in the metal. You know what I'm saying and shit? click on the provider. Who's providing this laptop? You're going to see and check their ratings. Anybody that leaves a negative rating, I shouldn't say anybody, but a lot of people, that if it's not worded properly, they're going to tell you it wasn't related to the complaint, which is bullshit. That's because Amazon knows if they had a correct ratio of complaints compared to this fake fucking 92% positive, nobody'd order from it. It seems to me with laptops particularly that these third-party vendors are just out to fuck everybody, and their feedback is appropriate to that. Because if you've got the manufacturer and they're not, let's say, giving 128 gigs as an option of RAM, I say if you get from a third-party vendor, don't go past the specs that the factory offers directly. Now, I would have ordered a laptop directly. Lenovo's decent for laptops now. I bought a desktop from them 15 years ago and it was junk. But the Chinese have taken over and they're actually underpricing their stuff. So, but if you go to get it, it's weird. You go to get a Lenovo laptop from the factory, they'll have delivered sometime in mid-August. What the fuck? And I think the reason for that is they want to make it so you go out and buy one. You don't have to order at the retailers. Because you're going to get the latest and greatest for the same price in the factory. Why would you go fuck with Best Buy? And all those super legitimate computer sellers, particularly the gaming places, they don't even fuck with laptops. They realize that to pack all the stuff that they sell on them, it's not going to work long term. Probably not outside the warranty. And they don't want to get it back and have to fuck with it. I mean, there's no money in warranty work compared to selling new without any problems. And it just strikes me as these people are trying to sell this shit and hope to never deal with it again. And it's funny, even on the people that are selling them, the third-party sellers, from what I can tell, there's about 10 to 15% profit. Man, I would not want to sell $5,000 laptops with all this souped-up shit that you know is not going to work long-term for that kind of profit margin, knowing that there was a good chance I was going to get it back and have to fuck with it for nothing under warning. You know, now, particularly with these gamers, you know, overheating these units is a big issue. You know, laptops even worse. Now, this is where the speed trap bullshit starts, but it doesn't get really bad until the next time. I'm telling you, fuckers. Do not buy a laptop from Amazon. And if you do, keep it within the specs of the original manufacturer. Don't be getting all this crazy RAM and crazy SSD and crazy fucking Ryzen 9 and try and fit it in a little metal box and expect it to not overheat. I mean, it's just a crazy time in laptops right now. Really a bunch of fucking junk. Just like cars. Fucking washers and dryers. I mean, I'm fucking glad I'm this age. I'll be getting out of this fucking rat race another 10 or 15 years. I just don't see things getting better. I know it sounds negative, but fucking it's the truth. There's fucking new cars, fucking 80 grand for some plastic piece of shit. You know, you stand just as good a chance of having your fucking brand new piece of shit in the dealer. Once that motherfucker runs on a warranty, you're really fucked. They will bend your ass over so bad. Just like I read about 25 years ago, they're going to get to the point where you can't work on your own cars. You can't change the transmission fluid. You're going to need special tools to change a fucking headlight. dealers there, even like legitimate dealers. You go talk to mechanics at, like, say, a 40-year Ford dealer, someone that's been the owner for that long, they'll tell you this business fucking sucks now compared to the old days. All this crazy junk they're manufacturing. I mean, they can't figure it out at the factory, much less give it to a dealer with some fucking Mr. Goodwrench certificate. Everything is fucked up, man. I'm really super interested in this Air India crash. If you ask me, this preliminary report isn't worth a fuck. I want to see the final ruling. There's some bullshit going on here. Unless that guy in the right seat just decided to kill a bunch of people like they did in that fucking Malaysia fucking airplane that just headed out until they ran out of fuel. Nobody knows where. That's what it sounded like. The best I can ascertain is that the fucking guy in the right seat, for some fucked up reason, said, "Why did you turn the fuel shut-off valves off?" And he said, "I didn't." Why the fuck did he ask that then? And that crazy motherfucker in the right seat had enough wherewithal, knew that they were going to be listening to this shit later, so he just added one more piece to the puzzle. He lied before he fucking got crushed to a million pieces. He did his duty to fucking whoever. Fucking weirdo. He'd be kicking and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just stay with it and shit, you know what I'm saying? Stay with it. Burger King, I don't know how they're still in business. You know, Burger Kings are different than McDonald's. They own the building and the property. And when Burger King says, "Hey, we'd like you guys to sell a Happy Meal, you know, give away pop for free," they say, "Fuck you." Now, there's two schools of thought. One, the franchisor doesn't have you by the balls like they do at McDonald's. The other side of the coin is Burger King's not that successful. You got to give it to McDonald's, man. It's a fucking hell of a business model. They've kicked everybody's ass fast food wise. Their profit margins are down too compared to the old days. If you owned a couple McDonald's in good locations 40 years ago, you had shit tons of money. Now you got to own about 8 of them with 8 times the fucking problems. Here's where the big speed trap starts, right here. And I guarantee you, there's a motherfucker right there. See him facing the wrong way towards me? Pulled over now? Maybe that's not him. But I think it is him. Because they hide down around here, motherfuckers. I can't tell if it's a fucking bike rack or a... No, it's not. It's not him. But I bet there'll be one around here. That's a perfect place where he'd, like, sit. And you watch. You just keep looking. You gotta stay with it and shit. You know what I'm saying? The big speed traps up here ways. You gotta stay with it and shit for real and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just keep with it. Yeah. Man, my shoulder hurt like a motherfucker last night. Woke me up twice. I had a good day yesterday. Thought I was getting over it. No, it's not bad now. It's fucked up. I think I must have slept on it wrong. Now here it opens up a little bit, and then one more final speed trap. And then it's time to hit the pedal in the metal. Now last time I got a little too excited. Got pulled over for speeding on the way home. 71 to 55. As soon as that motherfucker turned on his lights, I pulled right over. I always do. I mean, why delay the pain? black guy. It's like, oh, fuck. I bet this motherfucker waited his whole life for this. Of course, nobody's going to ever admit that. I had a bunch of seed in the back, you know, from the deer. He says, hunting, huh? I said, nah, just feeding the deer. You know, I'm a little nervous. I said, how'd you know that? He said, oh, that corn. Oh, I said, yeah, I forgot about that. I said, I don't eat deer meat anyway. Then he starts talking about how to cook it, and I thought, fuck, man, I might not get it broke off of my ass like I should. We talked about 10 minutes about the birds and the bees and shit. I beat the speed zone that time. And he let me go. Fuck, couldn't believe it. That's a big-ass ticket, too. There's a fucking pickup. These fuckers down here, too, they're in all sorts of different kinds of shit. Pickups. I don't know why that motherfucker be driving on the grass. But it wasn't a cop. Now it's time to hit that pedal of metal. This is where I put the pedal of metal last time, only a little further down. Just like this. Hauling them fucking ass. See a state trooper around the bend. It's like, fuck. I hit the brakes. Lights went on right then. But I talked to a state trooper a few weeks ago. And I told him about it. He's a great guy, man. He lives in Thompson. All these cops down here are really nice guys. Gentlemen, I'm not shitting you, man. Not like those fucking Michigan State Police. Those crazy, insane criminal Detroit cops. These guys actually are like good guys. And he told me that pulling over as soon as you see the lights is going to buy you some extra points. He said when he gets people like that going the opposite way, that he takes that into consideration. I mean, I can remember being young, getting a couple tickets, and I thought that motherfucker can chase me on there. He can keep fucking driving. And sure enough, I got the ticket. I got one time in North Dakota for 97 miles an hour in a 70. And 5 minutes later, I got another one for 101 in a 75 in Montana. Fucking wrapped up like 9 fucking points in less than a half hour. Immediately I got on probation. One more ticket, they were gonna fuck with me. One time I was out in, what the fuck was I? California, Arizona, one of those fucking states. Rented a car. I used to know this guy that worked at a Hertz. I could rent a brand new Lincoln Continental for $200 a week. And that's what I did. Rent a big old Continental. I was out in the desert, New Mexico, one of those fucking places where you can just see like way ahead. You're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And you know, I'm doing like 110. Fucking, what are you gonna hit? A fucking scorpion? And I'm hauling fucking ass, and I'm looking, watching and shit. And I see this pin dot in my fucking mirror. And it's you can tell it's a car, right? And I'm not shitting you. He's way back. So I punch it out, and I'm doing like 119. This motherfucker is still back, and he's slowly gaining on me, and I thought, man, fuck this. There's this white pickup that I saw catching up to me. And I slowed down to the speed limit. It still took a while, because I was way ahead of him. You could see forever. And he gets up close to me, and it's a fucking state trooper. Turns on his lights, and I pull over. And he said, "Good evening, sir." It's like, "Hey, how you doing?" He said, "You're going a little fast back there." were going. I said, yeah, I do, but I'm not telling you. And he kind of like swallowed hard. I said, you tell me. You got me. Did you pace me? Which I knew he didn't. And he said, no, I could tell you were going faster. I said, I'll tell you what. He said, if you just tell me how fast you were going, I'll give you a break. And I thought, no fucking way. I said, I'm not going to tell you that. I said, can you show me on your radar unit how fast I was going? He said, I can't. And he didn't even ask me for my license. I mean, he really couldn't. Here's another one of these white pickup motherfuckers. What the fuck are these guys doing here? The damn weirdos. Fucking CIA chased me. And he told me to have a good day. And I guarantee you, if I'd have told that motherfucker I was doing 119, wrote me a ticket right there and said I admitted it. Fuck yeah. I mean, I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid. You prosecute me, man. You better have all your I's and T's crossed because I'm not going to do it for you. Give a fuck about what the consequences are. And they will bullshit you blind. You know, it's already upheld to the Supreme Court. Police can lie to get you to tell the truth. Yeah, fuck that. They do lie, too. So I get this other fucking ticket about 8 years ago for having a shotgun improperly stored. I had it in a blanket, unloaded, unwrapped, and the ammunition in the glove box in a van. They get the fucking, they charge me with some fucking unlawful fucking transportation of a firearm. It's a misdemeanor. So I go up to this preliminary hearing. And how did that work? No, I didn't go up to the preliminary. What happened is, did I go to the preliminary hearing or not? Yeah, I go to the preliminary hearing. It's like the guy says, well, you know, we take this seriously. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not a fucking attorney, but I can muddy up the waters and drive you fucking nuts. You'll spend 10 hours a week fucking with my emotions and shit. So they're saying that there's no way that they're going to let me plead guilty to a civil infraction. It's like, well, there's no way I'm pleading guilty to a crime. I'll get a fucking jury trial. I mean, it was unloaded thing, you know, it was secured. Was it any less safe because it was in a blanket than it would have been in a gun case, which is why I got charged. The same thing would have happened in a gun case. It wouldn't have been legal. He said, well, the fucking law is the law. Well, that's true, but a jury's going to see through this fucking bullshit. So I don't hear from these motherfuckers. Okay? So a long time goes by, and the cop that wrote me the fucking ticket calls out, and he says to me, hey Tom, this is Sergeant fucking Nuns. How you doing? It's like, okay. He said, hey, I just wanted to give you the courtesy of letting you know that a warrant's been issued for your failure to appear. And I didn't want you to be out on a date or something and get pulled over and get locked up. And this will give you a chance to just, you know, take care of it now. He said, I just didn't want you embarrassed. And I thought, well, that's really cool, this motherfucker. You know? And he said, all you got to do is, my driver's license had been suspended for 6 months. That's another story. So I didn't have a ride up there, and I didn't want to ask somebody. He said, all you got to do is go to a local jail and post the $100 thing, and you'll be fine. It's like, yeah, I'll do that. So I go up to the local jail, and I said, hey, I got this fucking warrant for my thing, and I got to give $100, you know, so to go to my hearing over this bullshit. So the cop says, yeah, just wait a second. He comes out with fucking handcuffs. I said, what are you doing? He said, we gotta lock you up. I said, fucking why? Just talk to this guy. He said, I don't know anything about that. So they fucking locked me in this fucking jail. So I said, well, I can make a fucking phone call? He said, sure, make a phone call. They come get me like a fucking 2 hours later on a Friday night. I call the fucking cop. It's like, hey, you motherfucker. You know, what are you talking about? Just go down, pay. I'm fucking locked up over this bullshit. And he said, well, that shouldn't have happened. Let me make a call, all this fucking shit. So he does. He calls down there and says, hey, I just told this motherfucker, you know, don't worry about it. You know, he's being cooperative. Just take the $100 and we'll type in some shit to let him go. Another 3 hours later, they let me out. But what I find out later is he was fucking lying. That fucking warrant had been in the system for a month. They weren't calling me out of courtesy. I found out later that what probably happened is the prosecutor called the cop and said, hey, do you remember this Tom Reed guy? It's like, why don't you call this motherfucker? You know, he may not get pulled over for 10 years and see if he'll just turn himself in. That's what he did. And I was just, you know, going along with an agreement. Well, so they believed me. They couldn't demonstrate where they showed me that I had a court date. They forgot to mail it, believe it or not. That's what they said. But whatever it was, they realized that they hadn't sent it. So they rescheduled the court date. So I call up and I said, hey, is there any way I could just plead guilty to a civil infraction? It's like, nope. Okay. Well, then I started my bullshit. Just filing motions, challenging everything, fucking asking for a jury trial. Just drove them fucking crazy for a solid month. I go in, I knew I could get it adjourned, which I did. They're all ready to do this bullshit. I get it adjourned, just start driving them nuts for another whole month. You know, it's usually a month or 6 weeks when you get a case adjourned at that particular time in that particular court. So they knew I was just going to drive them fucking nuts. So I started my bullshit all over again. Challenge and shit. Freedom for Information Act from the prosecutor. It's like, okay, if you guys are going to play... Now, the court's exempt from that, but the prosecutor's not. I'm just fucking hammering these motherfuckers with bullshit because I didn't want a criminal record. Even if it was just a misdemeanor. You know, you can't go to Canada with a misdemeanor on your record. So I start my bullshit again. And I'm, you know, they're not complying. They didn't have time. There were too many of them. So I start filing lawsuits that they got to pay me because they didn't answer my Freedom of Information Act requirement, which requires hearings in the set amount of time. And I've got like 3 of these going on at the same time. So I wait about 2 weeks. And I call the prosecutor. And I speak to his secretary. And she's really nice to me. I said, hey, you guys, you know, you're really painting yourself into a corner here. I mean, I don't want to be doing all this bullshit, but you guys keep playing. Never had a criminal charge. It's bullshit. There was no danger to society. Now, if you let me plead to a civil infraction, I will quit doing this shit. But if you don't, well, I'm going to get it adjourned again. I'll be fucking with you until Christmas. So she said, can you hang on a second? I said, yeah, and I know what happened. She went to the prosecutor and said, I got this fucking crazy Tom Reed on the line. You know, this motherfucker that's got us head up for hearings. He's trying to push for the $10,000 fine. You know, I can't keep up with this shit. And he said, she said to him, they probably already talked about this before. Is there something you could come up with to let this fucking lunatic, you know, plead guilty to a civil infraction? They hung around, and it was weird because it wasn't like an easy one. So basically, I pled guilty to some shit like jaywalking or something like that, which I didn't give a fuck about. You know, these courts are interested in money, pretty much. So they got their $150 fine or whatever the fuck it was for nothing. But I didn't have a criminal record. And I went up there and met with this same fucking guy that I really had kind of like, I wouldn't say arguments, but heated discussions trying to settle this. And you could tell he was pissed. fill out this bullshit. We go in front of the judge. And the judge says something about this is really unusual. And the prosecutor says, yeah, it is unusual, but, you know, and the judge says to me, are you comfortable, you know, pleading guilty to, you know, something unrelated to what you were charged with? It's like, fuck yeah, I am. Absolutely right. I wasn't going to explain this whole story to him. He said he accepted it, and I paid my fucking $150 for something. It was right around the same bullshit as not wearing a seatbelt. Something like that. Got out of it. And I sat there and watched guys plead guilty to shit. Worse shit, less shit than I did. And have criminal records now just because they didn't know how to manipulate the system. They knew nothing about filing motions and Freedom of Information Act and just how to basically wear these motherfuckers out. So I got lucky. Here's all these new chicken houses they built. They say those are $1 million each now. And there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 $8 million. You can already smell the chicken shit. They banned building any of those new things near my house, which I'm glad for. It stinks like shit. Chicken shit, that is. I mean, I eat chicken. You gotta grow these motherfuckers somewhere. That county where I was talking about the speed trap, there was a time in the United States where I think if you bought a turkey, there was a 90% chance it came from Oglethorpe County. And back then they used to just let them run around big huge fields, throw them food, put a big fence around it. Well, not anymore because of bird flu and free range and all this bullshit. Got mixed feelings on this free range shit. I don't know if a chicken is miserable in a small cage or not. I mean, don't you have to be aware you're being deprived of something, don't you? Or maybe you don't. Fuck, I just don't know. Who knows? What you gonna do, Ghostbusters? Yeah, I have fun going up to Athens. I like it up there. Super crazy liberals. I was letting a guy translate for me in Best Buy. 3 Mexicans. Could barely speak English, but they had a guy that happened to be from here that translated, and I helped him pick out a laptop. I said, translate this to these motherfuckers. Are they going to write love emails to Donald Trump? And they started laughing. You know, with these J1 visas and stuff, I'm wondering, you know, because you can't get help anywhere in anything, I'm wondering if you can get over here as just a non-skilled laborer because of the crisis over here with finding help. In other words, could you be over here working as a laborer and not speak a lick of English because they filled out the paperwork? It's just like, hey, fuck, we can't get anybody from here to work. I suspect that may be true, but I'm not certain of it. What a bunch of stress. You're over here working some shit fucking job. Working like a fucking slave. And you're constantly worried about getting fucking locked up and deported. That would not be fun. working. I mean, I see these guys a lot around here. Like I said before, if you had a crystal ball and you knew there was, they were just over here working and they weren't causing problems and they weren't going to rip off fucking Medicare when they got injured, no problem. But you don't. I mean, bottom line, you're not supposed to be here. We got enough fucking people born here that we'd like to kick out. this all over the whole state, all the way down to Florida, all the way over to Hilton Head. It doesn't seem like truck driving's paying anything more. I see these semi-trucks parked out in front of these mobile homes, like with tarps on the roof, junk all over. I mean, yeah, I just don't think it pays anything anymore. Constant stress, getting fucked around, pulled over, fucking dealing with drivers. I just can't imagine driving 500 miles or 600 miles a day for fucking 40 years. It's not like you're having fun along the way. Just sitting there. I'm surprised these guys don't get blood clots. That's my garbage bin right there. Oh, excuse me. Big fan on the porch. It's weird. You'd think having that fucker 5 feet away, you couldn't like possibly hold a newspaper, but you can and read it. You think it'd just be blowing everything out of the way. It's not as much air as you think, considering the size. Seen hardly any horseback riders this summer. I don't blame them. That seemed like it'd be cruel riding a horse around at a 99 degree. By the time they're at my house, they're a long ways away from where they left, which is why I put that water thing up there. surprised. There's quite a few people that have horses that said their horses won't want to drink, and then some really do want to drink. Same distance, same age of the horse. It's weird.